Hi, my name's Alex. I'm currently looking for web developer roles. I'm going to be showing off this eShop website that I made using the stack that I use, which is React, Node Express, PostgreSQL, and MongoDB. And so it's a pretty basic eShop for the most part. And I got little items here. Right now it's fruit, but that's kind of more just mock data. I could put in any other data to kind of replace it. And I got a little search bar here. Again, pretty straightforward. Type in banana, and then it only shows banana on there using the filter method. And if you do try and add an item and you're not logged in, it's going to tell you to log in. So we'll make a register real quick. Shizness works as already a user that we do have, so it pops up a little error message saying it already exists. So if we make a new user on here, let's go toucan, it lets us know that it's all complete. It sends us back to the home page. And then if we go to log in with the newly created user, now it's going to log us in. It shows the name of the user, and now we got a little cart here on there, and we can add items. It has a little animation for when we do add the items. And the cart part, if we click on cart, it shows it. The cart little logo number, I'm still working on the rendering for that. But if you go to the cart, it does show all the items on here. And then if you go to checkout, this is using the Stripe library to take payments and take a credit card for the data. And so right now it's just in test using a test card, but it does work on there. And so we go to pay, throws that payment through, lets us know the payment's successful, and then again sends us back to the home page. And we could also view the orders too. And if you go here right now, we just have the one order with the number of items. So again, it's still, as you can see, it's under construction, so it's not fully going. But I do have the orders coming back to the front end from the server with that cancel log. So when the cancel, I do have it, but I'm still just working on getting all of those orders kind of nicer and getting that all set up. And that's pretty much all for the front end, nothing too crazy. I do have it deployed on Heroku, but the styling's not as updated. And also I heard Heroku's making some changes, so I'm probably going to look to host it on a different site soon. And it's, excuse me, nothing too crazy on there, but when I show the code, I think it's a little more exciting and will look a little nicer. So showing the code here, I'm going right into the app of my React part where I have all the routes declared using React Router DOM and got the home one. And I do have an index too, nothing too crazy, just some setup with Stripe, then also the browser router for it, and the back end over here. But going to the first component where it's going to go is that home page, where again just basic setup and then some mock data. And the market, this is where it does an Axios call and the use effect to get all the items, and then it maps over them. Also have that search bar function using filter. And it maps through the items and then makes a separate component in the map for each item. And in those components, it has the Axios request to post and add items to the user cart right there. And so for the login stuff, I'll start with register first, where there's the register component. Again, pretty straightforward, just a register function with a Axios post, adding a user to the database, and I'll show the back end too soon, and then a basic form. And then for the login, it's on this nav bar, where this one is one component that has the login. There's a conditional render using a ternary, where if a user is logged in, it's going to show that cart picture and the username. If a user is not logged in, then it's going to show the form to log in and register on there too. And we've got all this right here. Again, just forms, Axios going to the back end. I'll show that fun stuff soon. Then you got your orders, which again I'm still kind of working on with it, but this is where it's going to show all the order parts on there. And the checkout using the Stripe, again got the Stripe stuff, and this one again going post to the back end and got a little date on there to make it a date whenever the order gets added to it. And going to the back end with it, it's using MongoDB and Sequelize. I got all my endpoints here, and then I have a few different controller files to separate all of it. I did make a seed, but I use PGWeb to create all my tables and kind of check up on it. And that's kind of where I just ran all this query in PGWeb. And then this is kind of the default for the orders. So I thought it was pretty cool how I set this up, where everything is pretty much going to be on my SQL database, all the tables, besides the orders. For the orders, because I wanted to make the array of items inside of the order, and I wanted to practice MongoDB more, I made the orders with the MongoDB. And I'm going to show off that one because I'm pretty proud of it. I think it's pretty cool. Where when there is a new order made, basically a purchase, it'll run the purchase code, which I'll show that one too with the Stripe endpoint. It adds the order to the MongoDB database for that user. It adds that order, but then it also clears the cart from the user on the SQL database. So when a user purchases an order, clears their cart, and now it's a completed order, it gets added to the MongoDB database. And also other MongoDB for showing all the user orders, bringing all that back. And here's the payment one again with Stripe, nothing too crazy. Other stuff here, I'm using a join query to get the total for the cart all on there, kind of practicing the SQL. And all the other ones, get cart items, get the full cart, specific item, add to cart, just inserting it into that database. And then all the items for that default one, again, just grabbing all the items and throwing it all to the front end. And then I have the user controller too, where this is just register login. I do use Bcrypt to encrypt the password on the database side, and then also rehash it out for when they log in, where it's going to get the password from the database and then the password from the front end that the user typed in. Compare those using Bcrypt to make sure they match. If they do match, get sent to the front end, where the front end stores it on the session storage, and that's how it knows someone's logged in and where to get the username and ID for that specific user. And that's pretty much the main gist of it. I just wanted to kind of show off what I've been making, and yeah, just looking for any opportunities. If anybody has any roles they're looking to fill, or just anybody looking to collab in any coding, feel free to reach out to me. All right, thank you.